Hello.
Yeah. And we're back. But yeah, I decided I'm going to be a fisherman, but I'm only wearing slippers, dude. That's how the rest of my life is going to play out. This is my new attire.
Slippers fishing?
Yeah, slippers fishing, dude.
I think you're going to have to get some, like, fishing-specific slippers, though.
No, these.
Yeah, but I think
These
those...
Teva slide-ons.
Yeah, that's fine. But those, I think you're going to have one pair as your fishing slippers.
So you can have your dress-up slippers.
Like you can't
have
have
slippers.
You can't have the same Tevas fishing as you do podding, because the fish are going to smell the disappointment from the podcast and they're not going to bite.
I see where you're going. I was like, they won't smell that bad. I could wear them here.
Yeah, they're going to smell.
I see where you're going. That makes sense. I feel like these are good because all I'm doing is catching big ones anyway. So all I need is that fucking back grip. You know what I mean?
Big ones, what, L's on the pod?
No, dude. Fish.
Oh,
In the rivers.
in
You know
the
what I mean?
rivers.
Yeah.
In
I'm a
the
river fisherman.
rivers.
Yeah, I fly fish now.
In rivers.
Big bass only.
It's the hat.
It's the hat, dude.
Makes for the big fish.
The clothes, they change you. They make you feel
it's
different.
50-50 between the slippers and the hat.
Yeah.
Do you have a shirt with the vents in the back?
No. I just wear my what is it? Porter Aransas white trash shirt that I got years ago.
Just no t-shirt with no sleeves.
It's just a long sleeve beach shirt.
Long sleeve.
Yeah. It does the trick. I don't have any of the shirts with the vents in the back yet.
I mean, are you a real fisherman then? If you don't have vents.
So you got to have vents to either live in League City or be a fisherman.
What if I take a picture next to somebody's boat? That counts though, right?
Do you have vents?
No.
Does the boat have a power pole?
My hat has vents. See?
See, you're partway there, because that
there.
hat is it a Columbia hat as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
You need the vented Columbia shirt too.
Well, I skipped it. I got a hook shirt.
No.
Oh, so you went
It
right,
has-
you went right
you-
to the top then.
It has a fishing hook on it, dude. I'm there.
But does it have vents? Is it just the UV shirt?
It's one of those sunproof.
It's just the
58,
sunscreen
50
shirt?
SPF sunscreen
It's
shirts.
got a hood too. It counts.
So it's the sunscreen shirt. No vents, dude. You need the vents.
I don't know if I can put the vents on, dude. I feel like the vent shirts are for like a higher tax bracket.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll be
Fisherman.
faking it.
I'll say fishing's kind of a high tax bracket sport.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It doesn't need to be, but it definitely is.
Well, especially if you have like a real fishing pole. If you're the guy that's taking a chicken leg out in the lake and going catching crabs, that doesn't count. That's tax bracket free.
What is a real fishing pole? Maybe I'm not a fisherman.
If it doesn't say Zebco on the side of it, you're probably in the next level up.
If it doesn't say that,
Yeah. The Walmart Zebco little click.
That's the exact sound they make too.
yeah.
Fucking sound.
What if I have like 8 of those though? Does
No.
that count as one good one?
No.
No.
Fuck.
No.
All right, fine, dude. I won't be a fisherman today.
What happened to your fucking hair? No wonder you were wearing that
I
fucking
got
hat.
I got tired of cutting my hair. I mean, I got tired of doing my hair, so I cut it all off.
Okay.
It's kind of a pain in the ass, dude.
I don't hate it, except for them fucking glasses with that.
In the tooth.
What do you mean?
I don't
It's
know,
a new style, dude.
There's just something about your face now. I don't like it. There's
That's all
just
right.
something about your face.
He probably needs more beard.
Probably.
That-
you
yeah.
can always need more
That-
beard.
Yeah.
Oh.
I could help.
I was thinking about shaving my face too.
Don't do it. Don't
No,
do
it's
it.
instant regret every time.
Every single time.
But I feel like I
mean-
need that regret,
I mean, personally, I think you should do it.
right?
But if you do it, you have to do the whole process, right? So you have to let it grow out for a little while and get it extra shaggy, and then do like.
Oh, so it's like the shock, the sticker shock, too.
But every time you get to a different like beard, so you do the pork chops first, right?
He
Then you-
just had those.
and then you do the full goatee. Then you do the Fu Manchu. If you time it right, you can do the soul patch first, like the Fu Manchu and the soul patch. And the soul patch goes, then you have full Fu Manchu. And then you just slowly reduce the mustache until small children start running. Take a picture there,
or until he's
and then
called an anti-Semite.
and then shave it off, and then shave it off. Yeah.
Yeah. When you say slowly reduce, you mean from the top to the bottom, though,
No,
right?
from side to side.
Ooh, yeah.
And about the time your arm does this,
That's
when you
risky.
take the
Yeah.
picture.
Everybody
One's,
starts calling me Kanye real quick.
that one's risky.
Yeah, that's a risky move. I did ask my barber last time I went if he's done a Hitler mustache on anybody, and he just started laughing. He's like, "No, dude."
He said, "No,
Yeah, that'd be a risky move.
The last guy that did that didn't work well for him.
Well, I think there were 2 guys that did it at the same time. One of them never said anything, but he was on a lot of films. Chapman, Mr. Charlie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the mime guy.
He never gets credit for it.
He never gets credit for his mustache. Or speaking roles. He's never gotten credit for any of those either.
Did he ever have a speaking role?
I don't think so. Guess that would make sense.
I mean, he was probably talking the entire fucking time. They just weren't recording audio at the time.
Yeah, maybe. All right.
All right, you ready to get started now?
Yeah, we're getting started now. Okay. I've been making fun of Nick for years.
Nice.
Because he has an outside oven that he calls a barbecue pit.
Mm-hmm. Traeger.
It's a Traeger.
Traeger. Got it. Okay.
Do you have a Traeger?
I do not.
Nice.
I've got an old smoky. It lives on on PVC stands, so it's tall enough to you can not have to bend over to flip your burgers. Mm-hmm. I learned that from a buddy of mine. We were out at the sandbar, and he would bring his barbecue pit with him for Memorial Day, leave it in his boat. But he had PVC stakes that he put in the water, so he would barbecue on the water.
Nice.
And they don't get all corroded from the fucking water and shit. Pretty fucking smart.
And you
Guess we got a project.
And you can adjust them however you want to. So you gotta get that 3-inch PVC pipe, so it's relatively cheap, and you just cut them the length you want to it.
Pretty fucking smart.
Yeah, that's real smart. Because I have a Weber I never use. Because
Like
it's
a
too
gas
fucking
grill?
short. No. Like for charcoal.
Oh, charcoal?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I never use it because it's
Put
too short.
PVC
It hits
legs
me
on
like mid-thigh, dude.
Yeah.
I hate cooking on
Put
that.
PVC legs on it, dude.
Yeah. I wish I would have known that sooner.
Get with it. You get a flood? Fuck it. Barbecue, dude. Got PVC legs.
Mm-hmm.
Or a couple of cinder blocks.
That's smart too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
I always look at it and I go, I have this other pit right here that's tall enough.
couple chunks of wood. Fucking whatever, dude.
Sugar packet so it doesn't tilt.
Yeah, there you go. Stack of napkins.
Dog skeletons.
Dog skeletons.
All kinds of stuff you can stick under there.
How many dog skeletons you got
I don't know.
laying around?
You probably do a couple dead big girls too if you wanted.
How many of those you got laying around?
I guess that would depend on how sharp that PVC is. Might sink through, you know?
Maybe. Depends on what stage, you know?
Yeah. Especially if they've been sitting out in the heat.
There's a lot of variables there.
Yeah, but then you don't want to
back
cook
quick.
since it's just going to smell funny.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know what to do with those dead girls then. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
That problem kind of, over time, will solve itself.
True.
You know?
It's
You
a
wait-
long
you-
time, though.
True.
is
You
the
wait
problem.
long enough, that problem will take care of itself.
Yeah, nature.
Yeah.
Just kind of eats it away.
Yeah.
Except for that stack of bones.
Take the fence down, and then the coyotes will come in and scatter those too.
Dude, we do got some coyotes.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
So then at least you'll have like a field of bones instead of a pile. You know.
What was that song about the Lion King, The Circle of Life?
Yeah.
Living it in your backyard?
True. Yeah. Have y'all encountered any dead hookers in any of them crates yet?
No.
What are they called? They're not called crates.
Containers, like the big metal
Containers.
ones?
Yeah. Not once.
Like shipping containers?
I feel like that would be a common thing.
Is that what you do for a living? Fuck with shipping containers
It is.
at the port?
Port of Galveston, Port of Freeport, Port of Houston.
I know, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is what a man looks like.
So no. Are you like crane operator?
I'm not. I'm a manager.
Okay. So no dead hookers.
No dead hookers.
No dead bodies at all.
No dead bodies. There's been a couple of events where there's been some drugs that have been found. That's been interesting.
Like a lot of drugs, or
like pallet loads. Yeah, and that was that was real exciting for a
Nice.
couple of days.
That'll break up the monotony of the days right there.
Yeah, and it's one of
Why
those.
did you guys get into it? Like,
No, so we were actually unloading a container at one of my sites, and they had CDP down there doing inspections for agriculture, and they were like, "Hey, these are not quite right. Something's up." Open a box, and they're like, "Oh, that's why." Bags, just coke everywhere.
did you taste it?
No, we did not, because there was a whole bunch of guys with badges and guns that were real fussy. So we decided at that point it was time to take a couple of steps back.
Did
and we
you
said,
just tell them that they were being fun haters?
No,
y'all are being a bunch
we
of
did
fucking
actually ask him like, "Hey, look, you can take the drugs, but when we find the one with the money, we'll call you when we're done with it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't laugh quite as hard as I did, but
But you didn't get shot though either.
didn't get shot. No, it was a good day.
That's good.
Any day you don't get shot's a good day.
Good.
But with the guy with the badge and the gun gets fussy, you just kind of let him be.
Yeah. You ever
do you,
find anything cool like monkeys or like exotic critters?
One exotic bird one time, but
Like, was it being shipped in or like was it just in the crate?
it was on a ship in Galveston, and it came out of Panama or whatever else it was, and there was like a full blown freaking parakeet flying around inside the ship. We went, that's not a usual looking bird because it was fluorescent fucking yellow. Flew off, so we had to call agriculture. They're like, it's a parakeet, like it's fine, no big deal. That's the only time that's ever
'Cause
happened.
that's
They
how
had
we
to
got
make sure it
those-
wasn't a new bird AIDS.
Yeah.
That's how we got those green parrot things over here in like fucking wherever. Over there by Kima.
What are you talking about?
They have flocks of these like parrots. They're like these green fucking parrots over
They
there.
just came from somewhere else?
Yeah.
Nice.
And they've just kind of hung out over there. They haven't really gone anywhere else. They've just kind of stayed right there. But there's a bunch of them.
Nice.
Yeah, there's like a full flock of them.
How do you think the money transaction goes on something like that? When there's pallets of drugs coming across? Are they just wiring money? They don't send money back?
Art, dude. Paintings.
Oh, you think it's all like laundering through paintings?
A lot of it, yeah.
That could make sense. Hey, if there's any drug dealers out there that want to spend too much money on a painting,
Cough, cough, wink, wink.
yeah, just saying.
And the painting will be so fucking bad, it'll be believable that it's worth a lot.
That's like Hunter Biden's
Exactly.
finger paints.
Yeah.
A couple
Yeah.
of million for some finger painting.
Yeah.
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 Just get all hopped up on crack and just do this on a fucking canvas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Worked
Sounds
out
like a
well
good
for him.
Yeah, it worked out real well for him.
I guess you got to be connected for that, though.
I mean, that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, one of our 7.5 listeners have to know someone.
I think we're up to 9 now.
9?
We got 9.
Fuck. I'm starting to get nervous now. We're starting to make it.
We're getting there.
Aiming for
getting
double digits.
We're getting there.
We're damn near cancelable now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We got to watch what we say now.
Almost.
Shit.
Nah, there's no Asians listening. We're good.
It'll be fine. It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
we're fine.
Everything's
Kevin
fine.
didn't get us any Asian listeners?
I don't think so. I don't think he knows any.
Some fucking bullshit, dude.
I think he's the most Asian guy in his friend group.
He didn't even know about the ninja schools, dude.
He didn't. We did have an Asian guy on, and I asked him if he's ever done meth, and he was all, "I've done it before, but I'm not really that good at it." He thought I was talking about math.
Shit.
It was the most Asian response I've ever heard.
Yeah.
He's like, I've only gotten to calculus twice. Like, wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
I think
We're
I
talking
wasn't
about two very different things.
I wasn't very
different.
good at it. I got B pluses, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, straight up. That shit was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Shipping containers. There's no dead people. There's only drugs really, really rare. What do you do to keep yourself, like, from being bored? I'd be bored. I need more excitement.
Oh, there's
to, like,
you go on strike.
That was
Oh, yeah, you
that was
can go on-
exciting. That
you
was
can
about
go on
3 days.
strike?
That was 3 days of an event.
Yeah,
so
you can go on strike. You can, I don't know.
I mean, if you watch the news now with all this tariff and Chinese shipbuilding and all that kind of fun stuff, makes things real exciting. So when you figure everything you buy from Amazon, Walmart, Target, whatever else came in a big metal box from the Far East somewhere, and all that stuff just had giant tariffs slapped on it, and then the ships that bring it in to the West Coast and the East Coast, these giant container ships, are all built in China. They're slapping a tariff on the ships that are built in China. And they're slapping another tariff on top of the ships that are
Yeah,
crewed
it's
by
like-
Chinese people.
It's like 150% tariff.
It's millions of dollars per ship. It's
Nice.
absolute insanity.
So what does that mean?
If you wanted it from Amazon, buy it tomorrow.
Damn.
Like, not to get super weird, but it's going to be every bit of kind of what the whole COVID logistics bubble thing was. It's going to be kind of like that, except it's not going to be that it's not there. So it's going to be that it's really expensive.
Nice.
Because that was what happened during COVID, right? So they had everything get shipped over here, then they couldn't get empties to go back to go load them back up again. So there was this giant like bubble in the system. Once the bubble finally cleared out, then everything was fine. But there was a couple of months where there just wasn't shit anywhere.
Yeah, part of the COVID stuff too was like we do this like all these big companies, their logistics is like they call it just in time shit. So they don't have like back in the day, even when I was a kid, like you used to go to like auto parts store, and it was basically like a fucking warehouse. They had all kinds of shit on the shelves. They don't have that anymore. Like we don't have big ass warehouses with all kinds of shit in them like they used to. So like they'll have a warehouse, but they'll have like 4 or 5 widgets of this and whatever, right? So once those 4 or 5 widgets are gone, they call up China and they send more to replenish that.
What number is that?
What?
The number to China.
It's like
1-800 I'm out of shit.
yeah.
.com.
Send shit.
1-800 send more shit.
Send shit. Yeah. Think it's a
Send more shit.
Think it's a 1-900 number though.
Okay.
Oh, they charge you extra for that.
Yeah,
I
it's
think. Yeah.
Extra charge. It's an extra charge.
There's an entire generation of people that don't even know what 1-900 numbers means.
Yeah. So
True.
theoretically, yes, it's definitely gonna raise prices on things, right? But
It's supposed to be like a long-term goal, though, right?
the long term.
How many years does that goal have to go on before,
Dude,
all the manufacturing comes back? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the long term goal.
Is it a 3-year thing?
Is
it a 30-year thing? That's what I want to know. Like, what's the projection
well,
on
it
this?
depends on what it is, right? On a lot of like the little bullshit that we don't really fucking need anyways, like all the little fucking plastic nonsense that comes from China, that's probably a ways off, honestly, because we don't really have any of that manufacturing. Shit like the major stuff, like steel, can probably happen pretty quick. Like,
well, the thing is, too, is you've already got some of those steel mills and stuff like that exist in the
they're
Midwest.
already there. They're mothballed.
They have been mothballed, and they haven't been able to do any kind of rehabs on them because you have the EPA and all the other federal bureaucracy.
But now all that stuff's getting kind of fucking whittled away too. So they've been mothballed. So the steel, like the major stuff, steel, the rare earth stuff, a lot of the chips are already being made here again. Like a lot of the chip makers, like Intel has a chip manufacturing facility in Arizona. Samsung is building a huge one over there in Austin.
I'll say, and Tesla brought all a bunch of their manufacturing into Austin.
Yeah, it's
whatever
probably
factory it is.
that Samsung one is probably about done by now. Probably about to come online. So like a lot of the major stuff, it's not really that big of a deal. And a lot of these tariffs are like retaliatory tariffs. Like you don't see Chevy Cobalts in China because they fucking tariff the shit out of our vehicles. Obviously, you don't see Chinese vehicles here either, but you do see Japanese vehicles.
You know what you don't see here? Toyota Hiluxes.
Fucking pisses me off.
3-cylinder diesels.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen that little fucking $10,000 Toyota fucking flatbed with the fucking hand crank windows? I want that.
Yep.
It's $10,000, brand new.
But there's an entire series of like autos that you can't get in the States.
Yeah.
Isn't that also just because like ISIS has a hold on them?
No.
No, I thought they bought every one
No,
and then put a big gun on the back of it.
No, there's like whole YouTube channels that explain why certain things don't come. Like there's crazy vehicles, even just fucking, they have in Mexico that they don't have here. Like if you drive around here every once in a while, you'll see a weird car. You'll be like, what the fuck is that? Like I saw a little Volkswagen pickup truck thing the other day. It looked like the old school kind of like Subaru Outback thing that had like the pickup bed on it. Mm-hmm. But it looked like a car. I was like, what the fuck is that? It
looked
thing?
like World War II.
I'll say, unless you go to Mexico and go rent a car, you get like a Mitsubishi, whatever the fuck it is. And you're like, I've never seen one of these because you can't buy them in the States.
You can't buy them here, but you can get them in Mexico. You can bring them here. You can license them here.
But you can't get them across the border.
So it would have been a good idea to buy it a few weeks ago and have it shipped here before a couple days from now.
Some of it, yeah. It'll be interesting to see, too, like some of these countries are trying to get around tariffs, right? So they do a lot of short sea shipping. So they autos, right? Ford, Chevy, whatever else. They build a lot of this stuff in Mexico.
Yeah.
Altamira, Veracruz, whatever else it is. And then they send them up, and then they do final inspection and whatever else it is in the States. So it's still built in the USA with parts sourced internationally, whatever else it is.
Like you'll see the breakdown.
There's all kinds of games people have been playing for years and years and years.
You'll see the breakdown on like the window stickers of like the percentage of parts and where they're from. And honestly, I saw a stat that right now the most American automobile right now is actually a Tesla.
It's all built in the States.
Is the most American. There's still some shit that comes from China. Some of the fucking electronic boards, shit like that, comes from China. But it's like overall, it's the most. In fact, believe it's the Toyota Tundra.
is probably
and
second.
Tacoma is
Well, I can
more.
see that.
They're-
Is,
they're in
they're,
South-
dashboard buttons that
they're,
big in Japan.
they're
so
more.
that must come
They're
from
more
here.
American than Chevy or Ford.
Yeah, they're both
Any
in South.
Chevy or
They're both in
Ford.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
In Texas, I believe, for the
Yeah.
Tundras.
Yeah, but I think
Weird.
I always thought it was weird, like that. I thought GM had a plant, and that's where all the vehicles were built. But they have a plant for the Suburbans, and they have a plant for the Silverados. Like, it's crazy to me, like how they do it.
One thing is too is a bunch of that stuff was all done. Rust Belt, right? All up in the Midwest, where all the Detroit, Auto City, all that stuff. That's where it was all made originally. It ended up becoming cheaper and less restrictive to get it built overseas, shipped back, and then finally assembled here in the States.
Makes sense.
And a lot of that is because of unions. A lot of it.
Yeah.
And slave labor in China.
Well, that's the downside to the unions, though, right?
So economically, like competitive wise, so when you're trying to compete against Chinese child labor,
slave
can't-
labor.
you have grown adults that want to have benefits and insurance.
You
And
can't.
that's
It's a little bit different, right?
And that's the point of tariffs. Truthfully. That's
equal the playing field, right?
that's
Yep.
the idea of tariffs. Is
It'd be nice if they could put end goals on it.
well, so
because you got a huge portion of the population that's freaking out about it. Economy's crashing. But if they were also able to be like, hey, look, here's the 5-year plan.
so honestly, if we would have done these tariffs in the early '90s, late '80s, the conversations that are going on right now wouldn't be going on because we had all the manufacturing shit still. Like we had these big ass factories. We had all this shit.
Well, it's
still
like even
over here.
with petrochemical, right? So for a while we were a net petrochemical exporter for gasoline and natural gas. Like then they turned it off. They said, "Hey, we can't export the stuff anymore." So there was actually more product coming out of the States than even out of OPEC.
Right before the previous administration took over, we were a net exporter of petroleum products.
Which is insane. So, I mean, drive around here, right? That's what all that stuff is all petrochemical, whatever
Right.
else. So back to your thing about little plastic stuff, right? So they send little resin pellets.
Little pellets.
Right? So they send them in giant containers to South America or China, wherever else it is. So it's cheaper to do petrochemical processes here, take all the waste product, which is these little plastic pellet things, resin,
And they make fabric and-
send it to the Far East somewhere in a box. They're going to create something out of it, little Lego toys or coasters
Lego toys, or
wi-
they're gonna melt it down to
widgets or
strands
whatever it
and-
is. Then they send it in a container back, unload it off of a ship, put it on a truck, send it to a warehouse, send it to a store, and then you buy it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
cheaper to
crazy.
do all those steps than just to go build that stuff here.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I would assume it's cheaper, and also there's like bureaucratic red tape that doesn't allow it here as well.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
So
Well, and again, you can't have, child labor in a factory in, Montana somewhere making widgets for 13 cents a day.
And we're probably also like, oh, you can't do that because it puts something in the air.
Correct.
You know what I
China
mean?
don't give a fuck about
Right.
none of that.
And the funny thing is with all these, the climate accords and whatever, China's pushing a bunch of that stuff. So they're saying, oh, all these developed nations need to go reduce their carbon footprints. Meanwhile, you have China and India who are building everything with coal-fired plants.
They're building.
They're not running plants on LNG. They're running them on coal.
China's bringing a new coal-fired power plant online like every week.
Yeah, but it would make sense that they're pushing that because they want to hinder the competition
Yeah.
as much as possible.
So, like, the Chinese are putting on brand new coal-fired plants, and you can't even take a plant like in Texas City and go do an upgrade to some of your facilities to go fix stuff and change pipe and whatever else because it's a net carbon detriment.
Wow.
Crazy
However-
shit.
I think we call this a conundrum.
The plus side to that, in
I
my
got to use it
opinion,
again.
is I work for an engineering company. They do a lot of they're big into the carbon capture stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that work is going away. A lot of these companies now are they're like, hold on,
Are they going back to the sales
we
floor
don't
or
think
what?
we don't think we're going to be needing to do this stuff. So let's pause.
Hey, look at the screen.
A message from this episode's sponsor, BetterHelp. Because she left, the dog's confused, and your friends are tired of hearing about it.
Listen, brother, it's over. She's gone. You're 3 sad songs deep and starting to think Nickelback lyrics are speaking to your soul. Time to phone a professional.
BetterHelp gets you matched with a licensed therapist online, faster than she unfollowed you on Instagram. I'll tell you that much.
You don't have to suffer alone. You can do therapy from your couch, from the bed, hell, from the door while you ugly cry. and listen to the playlist you said you're never going to make. BetterHelp's got you.
BetterHelp, because drunk texting your friends is not a healing strategy.
That's betterhelp.com/fatdragontattoo. Sign up today using our link and receive 10% off your first month.
Before we spend millions and millions of dollars capturing this carbon, we might just be able to fucking puff it out to the trees like we used to.
Depending which generation of the environmental conversation you want to be in, it was either carbon's going to melt the planet, carbon's going to freeze the planet, and then it kind of alternates about every 15 years.
What happened to the hole in the ozone layer?
Right, that's the same thing. And so, and then global warming, and then it's colder than it ever was. And they're like, oh, it's because global warming works. It's for extreme weather. Like, okay, cool. You go look back in history, like, this is not a new thing. It's a cyclical thing, kind of like, has been forever.
That's why they called it global warming when I was a kid. Then they had to change it to climate change because that can be anything. So
Correct.
they don't have to change that anymore.
Correct.
But then they try to mix in, like, pollution with climate change. And they're two different topics, really.
And the crazy thing about it, then you get into pollution, right? So they have like an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean somewhere that's just garbage. It's
Trash.
It's the size of like Montana. Like it's just garbage. Absolute insanity. And then you go look into like the Deepwater Horizon, right? Where all that oil and stuff came up. Where the hole was in the ocean, there's no oil there anymore because all the microorganisms down there ate it because that's what they thrive on.
Wild.
Crazy stuff.
Like everybody freaks out about oil spills, but it's a naturally occurring thing.
Yeah.
Oil is like, supposedly it's dinosaur bones, right?
It's just heavy too, right? It just goes back into the earth, right?
Floats.
Floats.
So that's the problem you get into, right? So you have an oil spill. The problem you have is like all the wetlands and the ducks and the swans, and they have to get all the people out with the gloves and the Dawn soap to go scrub the birds.
It coats all that shit, and really it blocks. It's like
I thought that was just a dishwasher commercial.
Some of it's like what Bill
Both.
Gates is doing. It blocks out the sun from getting down into the waters to get all the microorganisms and shit to stay alive to eat all the shit.
And then you have a dead spot in the ocean that doesn't have any oxygen, and then everything dies. Then you have a fish kill, and that's really stinky.
Because that's where most of the oxygen comes from, is from algae in the ocean, not trees and grass.
Like planet-wide?
Well, then the other funny thing, you should talk about like global warming, right? So, and they always have these tests, so it's always in the States, it's always like in the city of Houston. It's 10 degrees hotter here than it was, 10 years ago. Well, yeah, have you seen a fucking tree in Houston? No. The sun's beating down on black asphalt, you wonder why it's a little bit warmer. Yeah. Like if you walk through the woods, it's a little cooler than it is walking through a parking lot in Houston.
Very true.
Not a lot.
True. At least with a tree, you get a little bit of shade to get out of the sun for a minute.
Yeah, not a lot, but a little bit.
I'll say, to me, that's probably a more, a bigger problem is all this, getting rid of every tree everywhere. I mean, if you look down going 45 from Houston all the way to Galveston now, there used to be all these, kind of pastures and trees. It's all gone. It's all shopping centers now. And they wonder why everything floods because it's concrete. And they wonder why it's fucking hot.
Look at all the new housing developments. They just have the houses are 3.5 foot apart, not a tree in fucking sight. And like you buy one of these houses and you just have a get together in the summer and you just stand outside and fucking cook. So all you do is you just bake.
And the thing is, too, is you can pee in your house and wash your hand in your neighbor's kitchen because you're this far apart.
Yeah.
Sounds like
which is cool, except for when I pee in my neighbor's kitchen.
And then wash your hands at home. That's probably a little more effective.
Then it gets weird.
That only gets weird if they catch you.
I mean, but they catch me all the time. I'm not sneaky about it. Yeah.
Is that mac and cheese over there? Thanks, guys.
It's like I want to be caught.
Hey, so all the housing developments, we just need to go straight up, right? Just have like one plot of land and just go straight the fuck up.
Sure. Hell
Right?
yeah. Fuck yeah.
That's what they're doing in China
Yeah.
and in New York.
There's constantly just going to be more and more people, right?
No, actually, the population is declining.
For a minute.
Supposedly. I don't know.
For a minute.
Yeah, the birth rate's like
I don't know. How
in a
how
negative
the fuck can
trend.
they count that, honestly? Like, it's a best guess. They don't know how many people are on Earth. Not a fucking chance. There's tribes in the Amazon that that have never been contacted, and they have people too.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're not like a billion.
But there's way more than you think. You thought there was like 56 dwarfs in the world.
67.
Yeah,
actually.
there's far more than that.
Did you know there's like hundreds of thousands of midgets on the
Millions,
planet?
dude.
There's millions of midgets.
I believe it.
I mean,
he's like, I believe it.
I mean, while we're here,
I
how many-
I do
how
shipping
many-
containers for a living. I believe it.
So here's the funny thing. So if you really want to feel real small, like hop on a plane and fly from here to L.A. or fly from here to New York or fly and realize that you've been flying 500 miles an hour for like 4 hours, right? That's a long ass way in a straight line. And you look down and you're like, there's a lot of things going on down there. So every one of those little things you're seeing is someone doing the same shit that we're doing. And you start thinking, oh, there's a million midgets. Like, that's probably an underestimated number.
Definitely.
You probably flew
I
over a
thought there
couple
was like
100,000 between here and there.
67, dude. I thought there was only like 60. I didn't realize there were that many. I thought they were way more special than that.
Then if you fly up to like Tacoma or up into the Pacific Northwest somewhere, you realize that there's a whole bunch of ain't shit between Vegas and North. Like, there's nothing.
Except for Sam Squitches.
Maybe.
Bunch of Sam Squitches. There's probably just about as many Sam Squitches as there are midgets.
Oh, that's scary. Like millions of them? That's scary,
I
dude.
bet so.
Just naked, hairy monsters.
Naked, hairy fucking dudes watching you pee at night in East Texas.
Hey, so I
That no one's ever found officially,
What,
sort
his
of.
penis?
I got sex trophies.
Someone found it.
Hey, so how many midgets do you think you can take at once? Not fucking, but fighting.
Man, it depends. How well trained are they?
I mean,
Oh, dude, they're average.
They're average.
It's a
just
mixed bag,
normal
dude.
normal
It's a
run of
mixed-
the mill midgets.
So it's like fucking with a toddler at that point. You just kind of hold them by the head
yeah,
and do this.
yeah. I'm not talking about
it's-
UFC trained midgets.
It's a mixed bag. Some of them are a little feistier than others. Like
I'm thinking
Mixed
like
bag.
one
Yeah,
of those.
some of them are a little thick.
I'm thinking one of those little torpedo bats like the Yankees got now. One of
no,
those.
no weapons.
Oh, no weapons.
Freehand.
Yeah,
Freehand.
Just you against a herd of them.
Damn.
There's an endless herd.
I believe
too.
it's
There's an
called. I
endless
believe
herd-
it's called a gaggle.
A gaggle.
I'm still at 67, dude.
Is it a murder of midgets?
Murder of midgets.
Kind of like crows. It's a
Yeah.
murder of crows. It'd be a murder of midgets. Is that a thing? We should look
It
that
is
up.
now.
What do you
made-
call multiple?
I think you just gave us a great shirt idea.
I think it is now. It's a thing now.
If it wasn't before, it is now.
Yeah.
Man, probably like 7 or 8 because I'm old and I'm tired, and that's about all I want to fuck with at one time.
It's a decent number. Nice conservative number right
See,
there.
and for you, I think you'd do okay until one snuck up behind you because they would take out that knee and you're fucking done.
Dude, I would do okay till I got winded. The second I got winded, I'm through.
See, that's what
so-
I'm thinking. Like, how long could I how
Yeah.
much could I stay up? And you know, I've been to the gym once or twice before, but my cardio's not where it used to be.
You've been where?
I've been to a gym once or twice before, but my cardio's not like where it was.
I've driven past a few of them.
Yeah,
They
I've done a
look-
lot of
They
that
look pretty
too.
tight. Like they look like they might be kind of cool, but I've never been in one.
It's like the joke goes. It says, "I've got a gym membership in January. I'm thinking I might have to actually go inside to lose some of this weight."
You're going to catch me running trails now, but instead of just running, I'm like doing leaps and shit, throwing fucking kicks, doing my midget training.
Is that with the slippers or no?
Yeah, with the slippers, dude.
That's what I don't think it's a. For me, I don't think it's a number thing. I don't think the limiting factor is how many. I think it's how long. Because I think I probably got about 7.5 seconds of dwarf defense.
Dude, I think I got a good 2 minutes.
You got 2 minutes?
Yeah.
You got 2 minutes?
Because
I
you
don't
can just
think.
kind of slap one on the side of the head, and he's going to fall over. The rest of them are going to trip. You're going to give yourself these
No,
little
dude.
spurts
You're
where
surrounded.
You can catch your breath.
You're surrounded. You need a Jackie Chan like spin kick out of this thing. Like
done.
one spin kick, and we're both done. We're
Dude,
I'll
both,
say,
you can
do
just
you-
put your fist out
I'll
and
say-
bend over like Tejano's playing and just start spinning.
dude. Like
I was
You're
like,
good.
you do
I
the
guess-
Sound of
I
Music
guess-
thing. You open your arms like this and just spin in a fucking circle.
I guess you could just pretend like you're in a hardcore pit,
Yeah, just start windmilling.
windmilling, fucking doing spin kicks. And
Yeah,
shit
dude. You wrecking shop.
For a minute.
You wrecking shop.
Yeah.
You can cartwheel into him.
Hit him with a ladder.
I mean,
I
you'd
say,
probably
then all of a
trip on
sudden,
one.
Grandpa Midget shows up and just takes everybody's ass out. You're like, ah, fuck. Yeah.
I'd want to.
Peter Dinklage shows up and just kicks you in the fucking shin, and it's over.
I'd want to get like an empty barrel.
And just roll him
and
into the next
roll it
guy.
like Donkey Kong.
like Donkey Kong. Dude. Oh shit!
How many midgets do you fit in the barrel? 2 or 3?
I think it depends on how much you chop them up.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a given. But I'm thinking like in one piece.
Like full, like raw midgets.
Are they struggling?
How much
Are they-
baby?
Are you hitting them in the back of the head with a brick first?
How much
they
baby oil
tied
do you
up?
have? Yeah. You could probably get two,
Because if you time
like a
up
normal
like
whiskey
good,
barrel.
like
Hey,
if you
hey,
time
wait,
up
wait.
like a good roast,
That's
you can
called
probably,
little people oil.
It's not what Diddy said.
Ooh,
Anyone with 1,000 bottles of baby oil has problems just in and of itself.
True.
We don't even need to go there.
yeah, it's ashy.
I don't even think they make 1,000
Not anymore.
bottles at a time.
His ass about to be ash more than anything else.
He's in that Martha Stewart jail.
I don't know where he's at. That shit kind of just went away.
We were talking about that the other day. Like, the coolest thing in the world is the fact that Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg are like best buddies.
That is pretty cool.
Like, how the fuck did that happen?
Fun fact: I know how it happened. They were sitting next to each other at the roast of Justin Bieber, and that's how they like started talking.
That's awesome. And here's the other fun thing: Martha Stewart's a felon. Snoop Dogg is not.
Yes,
How the fuck did that work?
yeah, because she's white.
The gangster rapper is not the felon. The cooking lady is.
No, and
Wait a minute.
Yeah, fucking crazy, right?
That's how you know the world's gone to shit.
Kind of. It's also like one of them does art, and the other one's a criminal. I think it's more of what it is.
I'll let you flip a coin which one's who at which point in time.
Uh,
Like, is cooking art or is rapping art? And then we're talking to insider trading versus drug dealing.
I would have to go with the rapping.
I think it's funny that she went to prison for insider trading. Like that's what our entire government does.
Absolutely. There's actually
Constantly.
there's entire websites now
Constantly.
that say, hey, look.
Copy Nancy Pelosi's fucking shit.
So
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi, Dan Crenshaw, a handful of the others are like, look, whatever they're doing for trades, just do that because they obviously know something. So whatever they're doing, do that.
Yeah. Like
I know these things exist, and I haven't got on a single
like what
one.
on September 10th, like they all sold all their airline stock.
Yeah.
2001.
Sketchy.
Huh?
She got it for perjury. I think it was.
Oh yeah. Did you watch the documentary thing? Yeah, I did too.
Why do they still make you swear on a Bible in court?
Because
I've like never understood.
because
if you
Puritanic-
lie, after you do that, if you lie, you get struck by lightning, dude.
If only that was the
Proven.
case, we wouldn't have a politician left.
It's proven. But they don't necessarily. The politicians don't necessarily swear on the Bible. They can swear on the Quran, fucking.
whatever one
Talmud,
you want.
Whatever.
Yeah, you get to pick
Kind of
your-
like the Masons. The
So I can
Masons
just pick
is how-
out any Dr. Seuss book I want.
any of them. Cat in the Hat, Green
Nice.
Eggs and Ham,
Nice.
any of them.
I'd go for One Fish, Two Fish.
I like
personally.
that one too.
Yeah, that's a good
Or
one.
the Foot
Red fish,
Book.
Bluefish.
The Footbook, Hop on Pop.
Yeah.
Wait, Dr. Seuss put out a foot fetish book?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yep.
What?
Sick foot, well foot.
What?
Yeah. 1 foot, 2 foot.
What was it like? My wife's feet don't work anymore, but my helpers do. What, something
it's-
like that?
It has something to do with like why are women's feet smaller than men's, so they can get closer to the sink.
I don't think that was
Like,
Dr. Seuss
something
though.
like that.
That might have been
wasn't
that might have been Dr. Phil.
Yeah, you might be right. I'm getting my doctors mixed up.
Yeah. What are some other ones?
What?
Women jokes.
Women's jokes. What? What do you tell? What?
Nothing.
What do you
You've
tell
already
a
told them
woman with?
twice.
What do you? Yeah.
Yep, knew that one.
Yeah. Oh, I can't think of them on the spot. I know
Yeah,
you
when
got
you
a
get put on the
couple.
spot, it's hard, right?
I know you got a couple.
So here's the worst
I'm
joke.
out.
Here's the worst joke ever, right? So a guy was sitting there talking to his girlfriend and says, she's looking at him and says, you know, I just have mixed feelings about that. I'm kind of happy, but I'm kind of sad.
About what?
Guy looked at her and said, there's no possible way that you can be happy and sad about one thing at the same time. There's no fucking way. It doesn't work that way because men's brains don't do that. She goes, yeah, of course it is. It works all the time. He said, prove it. She goes, okay, cool. Of all your friends, you have the largest penis. The best part of that joke is like the 2-second pause where you go, God damn, that sucks.
I've heard that one before, but it was like, your dick's way bigger than your dad's.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's one of those like, my ego's happy and the rest of me's going like, what the fuck just happened?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can be happy and sad all the time, dude. Lots of times when I eat, I'm happy and sad. I'm happy because I had food. I'm sad because my tummy hurts now. I didn't know when to stop. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes when you poop, I'm really happy because I feel better. But I'm also really sad because it smells shitty in here.
This is rank.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes I'm like triple flushing, like, God damn it, the odor won't go away.
The exact same smells hit him after he's done having sex.
True.
Get it? Because he's getting butt fucked. Get it? Get it?
We talking about guns now or what?
Guns?
Yeah, go for it.
What about it?
I don't know.
Ow!
I don't know anything about guns. Y'all do. I'm enjoying sitting over here being a fly today.
Huh?
What?
What?
What do the tariffs do to guns?
Nothing yet. A lot of that stuff's built in the States. Here's the other funny thing. So, like, Springfield Armory and
There we go.
Springfield Timber, a bunch of these
I
others.
know you know.
They're all in Massachusetts, who is like the most anti-gun state in the fucking country. So they moved a bunch of their factories out of Massachusetts, like Springfield, Massachusetts, Springfield Armory. They moved it because they kept getting red flag laws in Massachusetts.
They moved to Springfield, Illinois?
I think they moved it next door to Homer Simpson's house.
But Illinois would be a bad one too, though. 'Cause
Yep.
actually, the rest, other than Chicago, the rest of the state is okay.
Yeah.
Chicago proper is the only problem with Illinois.
Yeah.
What technically is a red flag?
It's the laws where like I can call the police and be like, oh, my neighbor Waylon Hart, I think he might be a little bit unstable, and they can be like, oh, okay, and they'll come and confiscate all your shit
Yeah, and the feds show up at your house and take your stuff.
with zero basis.
That's
like, just
so that's what they call
somebody-
red flag laws. So they're like, oh, that's how we get. That,
Wait, what?
and the
that's
whole
real?
deal. Oh yeah.
People live in places like that on purpose?
Yeah.
People vote for it.
What?
And so the whole trick to it was, they're like, oh yeah, they knew about it's always the quiet one you got to watch. Well, that quiet one, whoever it was, right? They're like, oh, we knew something was up. So they call the feds and like, oh, we got to go take all the guns away from this person. That person just likes to sit at the house and play fucking video games. They ain't bothering anybody.
Yeah, but the bigger issue with this is who's to say anyone really called instead of the state just being like, we know all these people have guns and someone called on you.
Exactly.
That's why. So there's
That's
a whole
fucking
bunch
And
of
this is how you end up with somebody in a killdozer.
Yeah, this is
pretty
fucking,
much. Yeah, that's
this
kind
is
of how that
fucking
happened.
retarded.
That was taxes, but yeah,
It was
same
taxes,
idea.
but the same shit. Like the government.
That's kind of
everybody
hurt
was-
my brain. That's for real. There's
They
for
were-
real places.
They were boxing that dude in.
Like the state of,
Yeah.
I think it's
What
the
the
state of
fuck?
Texas now. It actually has something in process that's like, hey, we're gonna they're gonna put language into the law that you can't have like red flag laws are not applicable. Period. End of story. You can't do it. Don't vote for it. Don't even ask about it. It's not a thing.
Don't
Cool.
even mention it.
Which is
talk about
good.
Yeah,
Because
cool.
I mean, there's an entire Fourth Amendment, Second Amendment, pick your amendment that you have to have due process. You can't go just take somebody's guns without having a fucking reason, right? Like if you're a felon, you're not supposed to have a gun, right? Or you're mentally incompetent, like those other things. But that's always after. Like they don't ever come back and go get your guns.
Yeah. So this new administration, they're doing a lot of talking about revamping the FBI and CIA and all this shit. I haven't heard them fucking talk about ATF yet.
I don't like the word revamp.
They were trying to wrap the ATF into
Because
DOD.
the
think?
ATF is the most nonsensical fucking organization.
Yeah,
ever.
it should be a convenience store. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Yeah.
Would you like chips with that? Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, but there was a whole thing that they were trying to wrap the ATF into one of those other ones, just combine them. The ATF has come a long way into the modern era lately with all their Form 4s and whatever else it is. It's all online now, so they have to go get mailed back and forth like through the snail mail.
Yeah, but the fact that you have to do that is the problem.
And the reason that
I
is
like all their shirts.
so the
The
reason
ones that they're gay.
Yeah, the ATF is gay
ATF
shirts
is
they keep
gay
putting out.
shirts?
Yeah, those are tight.
And so the reason they had to do all that tax stamp stuff was from the mob in the 20s. 1936, I think it was.
That's what's super funny to me is like the suppressors.
So suppressors, automatic weapons. So the whole reason of that was because the mob had automatic weapons, Tommy guns, suppressors, whatever else it was. So what's funny is the tax stamp is $200. It's been $200 since 1930 whatever. In 1930 whatever, $200 was a lot of fucking money. Nowadays, it's like lunch at
not to the
Chick-fil-A,
mob.
right? I mean, $200 today is not nearly what it was then.
But it's $200 and you have to wait upwards of fucking. It could be
So it
3
used to,
months.
It used to
could
be
6
a
months.
It used to
could
be a year to
it could
18
be
months.
2
Now they're
years.
running like 2 weeks ish, which is a good thing. The problem was when they finally went to e-file, they had the giant influx of people that are like, oh fuck, finally we all went and bought a bunch of suppressors. I mean, they all went and bought a bunch of suppressors.
And in Texas, if you can find one that's built in Texas, you don't have to do any of that shit.
Sort of.
Supposedly.
So still federal. So it's kind of like buying marijuana and then driving a car across the highway. So
It would have to stay.
in California, right? So it's legal to have weed in California, but it's still federally illegal.
Yeah.
So they had a thing where if you have a Texas-built suppressor with Texas supplies, it stays in Texas. You don't have to have an ATF form. You don't have to go fill out the paperwork. But the ATF was like, hey, that's still illegal. So there's still some legalese there. The trouble you run into is how people get busted. They'll go out the gun range, right? And they'll be shooting with suppressor. And Mr. Law Enforcement guy's out there practicing, goes, hey, you got your stamp with you? And you go, huh? And next thing you know, you're in the back of the black van.
Getting butt fucked.
Maybe.
Yeah. But the funny thing
All
to
I
me,
just learned was if you have one, don't take it to the range.
the funny thing to me about suppressors is that, like, in the States, people think about them like some assassin fucking tool. In Europe,
You can buy them on the counter.
it's considered fucking rude to not use one. It cuts down on fucking noise. Like, how is that such a bad thing?
So the trouble
Like,
is,
it
you've got to go convince all the soccer moms. That
It doesn't make them silent unless the only thing that really makes way quieter is like if you have
you got to wrap a wet towel around it. Everybody knows that.
if you have a 300 blackout that is over 209 grain.
What that means.
So you can shoot.
That's subsonic.
Yeah, so you can
If
shoot
it's a-
subsonic
if it's
22, subsonic 300s.
It's a heavy bullet that doesn't break the sound barrier. It'll be pretty quiet. If it's a regular like 5.56 round, you're still gonna hear that snap from it breaking sound barrier. It's still loud. It's not super quiet.
Does it affect precision?
It can.
Depends.
So it does.
Depends.
It'll affect your point of impact because the way when you have your little explosion in front of your face and the bullet goes down the barrel, there's harmonics and the barrel actually whips. So if you put something on the end of your barrel, your whip takes longer because there's more, it moves your center of gravity, for lack of a better word, right? So it'll change your point of impact. If you have a good suppressor and a good mount, it'll stay. Your point of impact will stay where it is. You won't have to go chase it. But like what'll happen is if your suppressor comes loose and it wiggles, so when that bullet comes out, if the suppressor's facing this way, the bullet goes that way.
And if you have optics, you have to recite and everything. If you have a suppressor.
Is this how they figured out how to do that one movie
Which one?
where they were
They
like
fucking
throwing their hands and the
that's
bullets were going
fucking
around
exactly
people?
yes.
So they did a
Yes.
MythBusters
No
thing
shit,
about that,
huh?
and that's actually physically impossible, which was kind of lame. But
I know. I don't like the MythBusters.
No,
too.
it's true. They just couldn't do it. They weren't
Yeah,
good
they
enough.
just couldn't do it because they're too nerdy.
They weren't good enough.
Yeah. They couldn't make their heart beat fast enough to slow down
It-
flies.
yeah, it definitely is possible for sure. For sure. But it's all in the wrist, you know what I mean? They were trying to be too mechanical.
And it's a timing thing, right? Because you have to get it right about the time it comes out of the barrel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Will they let you try that move at the range?
Yes.
No, they won't even let you
Only-
draw from a holster at the range.
Only indoor ones.
Wait,
though.
for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't let you.
How are you supposed to practice that?
Exactly.
That's what the range is for, right?
Duh.
To practice your self-defense
No, the
moves.
range is apparently just for shooting little fucking pieces of paper.
Well,
Which is why I haven't been to a range in forever.
Yeah, how did they train John Wick then?
Oh, John Wick was at a dance
He was
studio.
just
dude.
natural. He was.
He was at a dance studio wrestling in the back.
Oh,
That's what he was doing.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes total sense now.
The firearms were secondary to John Wick.
Okay, so
Then they killed his dog, and it all went downhill from
It
there.
all went downhill from there with fucking pencil.
tariffs won't affect the pow-pows, or they shouldn't,
It'll affect ammunition because most of that's
yeah.
imported.
Ammunition will be the big one. Yeah.
or was imported.
and that's the
Still is.
that seems like
yeah.
an easy fix.
Well, because you can't make smokeless powder in the States. It's all made in China.
Smokeless powder?
Yeah, so gun.
Wait, I know nothing about guns.
So gunpowder. So there's different kinds of powders. You have like black powder.
Black powder is
Then
the
you-
big. Think Civil War, poof, and people.
I heard that wrong, dude.
That's
I was thinking
black
about
powder.
Panthers and fucking people marching.
So then they have
Yes.
smokeless powder, which is what they put in, your regular bullet cartridges, right? And
Now.
there's different now.
Yeah.
There's different flavors, different.
So there's no
burn-
smoke coming out,
Correct.
There's still a little.
or a
There's
minimal.
a little bit of smoke.
And you're not allowed to manufacture that here? Wild. Or wait, or is it because we can't? Because it's like a Chinese spell they put in there.
So it's one of those federally regulated. You can't build that stuff here.
It's about like the precursors to it and all that bullshit.
Rare earth minerals and all that kind of fun stuff.
Huh. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that part would have to be imported.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's no way around it then at the moment. And bullets, from what I understand, are already like kind of expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to go up 150%? Where do the
No.
bullets come from? China?
It depends. I mean, you can make bullets at home. You can get a little
Press.
you can get a little melter, and you can go melt lead. You can go melt fishing weights, and you can go make your own bullets.
But you pretty tough to make your own primers and everything else.
Yeah, and primers are a pain in the ass to find.
You gotta buy primers.
Got to buy brass. Got to buy primers. Got to buy all the components. But a lot of that stuff, they make a lot of the components and stuff here. But the powder, from what my understanding, is the hard part.
Yeah, I know nothing about it. I feel like I learned something. Maybe a little bit. I'll lose it tomorrow. For sure.
Tomorrow.
Tonight.
Like
20
15 minutes
minutes.
from now.
Smokeless
Gone.
powder, huh?
Yeah, that's also what they call crack. Except
think
for
you're
not
right.
really. Not
I
really,
think you're
because it's
right.
not really a powder. It's a rock. But yeah, you could kind of powder it if you wanted to.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's not really.
Yeah, not really.
No.
Doesn't
You know what's
work.
crazy? You start thinking about like how many people had to die to figure out which mushrooms would kill you and which ones make you just see purple elephants, or like which weed do you light on fire to
mean-
make you feel really good
I mean,
versus
one
the one that makes you fall over
one
dead.
dude definitely died from eating the wrong shit.
I'm thinking several. Like
That
how
was
they
that-
figure this stuff out?
That was that dude from Into the Wild.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because they didn't have Google back then.
No, they had a
Guy with a
maybe-
bow and
yeah.
arrow and a loincloth didn't have a fucking iPhone to go look it up.
They didn't even have books.
Dude, I'd imagine.
They had shit painted on the walls of a
They had-
cave.
they had oral-
And he was like, "Don't eat this one."
They had oral history.
Yeah, I'd imagine that it was either you were starving and you had to find out, or you had already captured other people and you make them find out.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that's the two ways it went down, right? But yeah, I don't think anybody was counting how many people died there.
Yeah, human testing. Try this. Let me know how it works. That didn't work.
Probably a lot.
They didn't give a fuck about ethical science back then.
They do now.
Yeah, dude, everybody was hungry.
Yeah.
Everybody
course
was
they
fucking
do.
hungry. It was way different.
Huh?
It was way different. Everybody was hungry. We're not hungry anymore, so we can make rules for everything.
I mean, look at us. I'm always hungry.
I mean, but there's food.
True. Too much, clearly.
Yeah, if I felt like this right now and there was no fridge with stuff to go home to, I'd be pretty fucking upset. I'd be mad like all the fucking time, dude.
We're looking for something to go kill and drag home.
All the time. That's our only mission is find more fucking food. That would suck.
Yeah.
I guess we wouldn't be worried about AC though. Or toilet paper or none of that shit.
Well, at the time you had,
Wouldn't be worried
you had
about-
trees. You didn't have to worry about global warming yet.
Wouldn't even be worried about your pronouns at all.
Not at all.
Wouldn't even be thinking about that.
Yeah.
They didn't even
Well, my
have
pronouns would
yet.
be hungry and mad.
You wouldn't be worried about how your dad didn't hug you enough.
He died. He ate the wrong mushroom.
Wrong mushroom, fucking dead. Like
DRT,
but what
dead
came
right
out of
there.
it is you learned a lesson. You learned not to eat the fucking squiggly mushroom.
True.
You learned a lesson.
Did y'all watch White Lotus?
No.
Okay, don't. Are we there? We are, right? Oh, we're almost there.
We're
My
not
bad.
there.
Thought we were there.
We're not there.
Thought we were at break time.
We're
My
not
bad.
there yet. Calm
My
down.
bad. My bad.
Jesus.
Well, I hit y'all with that White Lotus, but I don't have anything to say about it. Yeah, I was talking about eating weird shit, and I was like, I ate some weird shit.
White Lotus?
White Lotus?
You ate a White Lotus?
No. On the show, they ate some weird shit.
Like what?
I don't want to say because you haven't watched it.
I'm not gonna watch it.
All right.
Don't tell me I'm gonna watch it.
All right.
Yeah, don't spoil the movie for me. I'll watch it when I get home. Yeah, no.
All right.
Things that
All
aren't
right.
happening for 500, please.
How about Righteous Gemstones? You been watching that?
Nope, I ain't seen the last one yet.
I haven't seen
The last season, I hadn't
I
even
haven't
started
seen.
it.
I haven't even seen the first one yet. But I hear. I hear it's better than Eastbound and Down.
Well, it's a really, really good show.
Is it better than Eastbound and Down?
I think that Eastbound and Down is just more of like a cult following of like coolest fucking small show ever made. But this one has like a huge fucking budget, dude.
I hear this one.
So it's almost like a different league of.
I hear this one as the seasons go on. It actually has been getting better.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. Have you
So
seen
I
it?
need to check.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
It's funny. It's real funny. There's a
one
lot
the-
of
that's
dick
what,
in
That's
it.
one of the one where they make fun of the mega churches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
A lot of dick.
That's why Waylon's like, this is a great show.
Like an
Fucking great show.
an obscene, unnecessary amount of dick in the show.
Right up Waylon's alley.
For no reason. Like any excuse they can to put like a fucking dude's wiener in the show, they do it. Yeah.
Scratch.
I mean, it's basically our podcast. You know, any excuse we have to
Talk about poop.
talk about poop,
Yeah.
show your camel toe.
Yep. I do show my camel toe quite a bit. It's potty time though, right?
Huh?
Feeling potty time, dude. We got to cut it short because I got to pee.
Oh, that's
I gotta pee,
that's
dude.
your problem?
He's like, I'm
That's
done.
your problem?
dude.
Your bladder's full?
Yeah, drink that and then half of this.
Your bladder's full. Okay,
Bladder's
Eduardo.
full. Bladder's full. We can't cut yet.